I know people say you should never check your partner's phone. That trust is the foundation of any relationship. And if you go looking for something, you're going to find it. But nobody ever tells you what to do when the truth hits you so hard it knocks the air out of your lungs. Nobody explains what happens when the person you thought you knew better than anyone suddenly becomes a stranger in a matter of seconds. And I need you to tell me, honestly, was I wrong for what I did next? Or would you have done the same thing if you saw what I saw? Because the moment I unlocked that phone, my entire life, my future, my identity, all of it shattered in front of me like broken glass on a cold kitchen floor. It didn't happen because I was snooping for drama. I wasn't looking for a reason to fight, and I definitely wasn't looking for a way out. I loved my partner maybe more than I should have. We'd been together for 4 years. We had plans, real plans, a house we were saving for, a trip we kept putting off, and this quiet, comforting idea that we were building something stable. I'd always been proud of that, proud of us. And yet, here I am, telling you a story I never thought would be mine. Maybe that's why the shock hit me so hard. Because betrayal is only devastating when it comes from the last person you expected. Let me start from the beginning, before the phone, before the messages that still keep me up at night. My partner, who I'll call Alex, and I met in the most cliché way possible, through friends at a late-night hangout. We clicked instantly. It wasn't fireworks or some dramatic movie moment. It was simple, effortless conversation that felt like breathing. From that night on, we just kept finding excuses to be around each other. Before long, we were inseparable. Alex had this warm, steady energy. The kind of person who listened when you talked and remembered the tiny details. The kind of person who made you feel safe without even trying. For a long time, everything felt good, really good. We had our arguments like any couple, but nothing serious, nothing that shook the foundation. Or at least, that's what I believed. About a year ago, though, things began to shift, subtly at first. Alex became more distant, more tired, more stressed, more busy. At least, that's what I was told whenever I asked what was going on. And every time I pushed just a little, Alex would say something like, "It's just work," or "I'm overwhelmed," or "I don't want to dump my problems on you." Those lines worked for a while because I trusted them. But trust can be a tricky thing. Sometimes it blinds you just long enough for someone to slip a knife between your ribs before you even realize you're bleeding. I noticed Alex started taking the phone everywhere, into the bathroom, into the shower, even placing it face down on the table every time we sat together. The lock screen notifications disappeared. The phone went on silent more often. And every time it buzzed, Alex would flinch slightly before checking it, usually with this tight expression I couldn't read. You'd think these signs would be enough to trigger suspicion, but I'm the kind of person who gives benefit of the doubt until the doubt eats me alive. I told myself it was paranoia. I reminded myself that people are allowed to have privacy. But at night, when Alex fell asleep, I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, fighting this nagging feeling crawling under my skin, like someone whispering, "Something's wrong, something's missing, you're losing them." Things escalated when Alex began coming home later and later. Sometimes smelling like cologne or perfume that wasn't either of ours. Sometimes with excuses that didn't add up, meetings that ran until midnight, sudden team dinners, or car trouble that happened way too frequently. Every time I questioned it, Alex would get defensive. Not outright angry, but irritated, like I'd asked something unreasonable. And then came the guilt trips. "Why don't you trust me? Do you think I'd hurt you? You're being dramatic." That last one always stung. Dramatic. As if my instincts, the same instincts that had protected me my whole life, were just emotional noise, so I buried them. Or at least I tried to. Then came the night everything changed. Alex had come home later than usual, claiming to have fallen asleep in the office after a long day. I didn't question it out loud because I was too exhausted from weeks of tension. But I noticed something. I couldn't ignore it, no matter how hard I tried. Alex's shirt was inside out. And the scent, it wasn't just perfume this time. It was someone's lotion, floral and sweet, pressed into the fabric like fingerprints. I remember sitting there on the couch after Alex fell asleep, staring into the dark living room, feeling like reality was slipping through my fingers. I kept trying to convince myself I was overthinking, that I was imagining things. But somewhere deep down, I knew the truth was waiting. And the truth doesn't wait forever. It demands to be found. The next morning, Alex overslept and rushed to shower before a supposed early meeting. For the first time in months, Alex left the phone on the nightstand, unlocked, maybe because the alarm was still going off. I don't know if it was an accident, or some subconscious desire to be caught, or simply a moment of carelessness. But that was the moment the door to the truth swung open. And I stepped through it. My hands were shaking when I picked up the phone. My stomach was twisting so hard I felt sick. I didn't know what I was expecting to find. Maybe I wanted reassurance, proof that I was wrong. But the very first thing I saw was a message notification from someone named Leah Blackheart. A heart emoji. My heart sank. I opened the message thread, and what stared back at me wasn't just conversation. It was intimacy. Emotional, physical, deeply personal intimacy that didn't belong to me. There were messages from the night before. I miss you already. Last night was perfect. I love how you fall asleep on me. And then pictures. And then audio notes. And then a hotel booking confirmation with both their names on it. And the worst part, the history went back almost 9 months. 9 months. While I was sitting at home believing Alex was exhausted and depressed, they were building an entire second life with someone else. I scrolled and scrolled, unable to stop even though every new message felt like another blade sliding under my skin. They joked about me. They complained about how clingy I was getting. They made plans, vacation plans, moving plans, future plans. Alex told this person things they hadn't told me in years. And the truth hit me like a tidal wave. The distance, the late nights, the defensiveness, it all had a reason. And it wasn't work, it wasn't stress. It wasn't life being unfair. It was betrayal. It was deceit. It was me being treated like a placeholder, until Alex figured out how to leave without looking like the bad guy. I don't know how long I stood there reading, but I remember hearing the water shut off in the bathroom, and that's when everything in me snapped into focus. My heartbreak transformed into something sharper. Not revenge, not rage, just clarity. Cold, undeniable clarity. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to imagine being in my shoes for a second. Imagine finding out that the person you loved most in the world was using your trust as a shield while building a secret life with someone else. Imagine your future collapsing in seconds. And then tell me honestly, what would you have done? Because that's the exact moment I had to make a choice. So pause for a second and tell me in the comments, would you have confronted them right then and there? Walked out silently? Exposed everything? What would you have done? Because here's what I did. When Alex walked out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, humming like nothing in the world was wrong, I was sitting on the edge of the bed holding the phone. Calm. Too calm, probably, and Alex froze. They knew instantly. It was written in their eyes, the realization, the fear, the guilt. They whispered my name like a question, like a plea, like maybe there was still a chance to undo what had been done. I didn't shout, I didn't cry, I didn't throw anything. I just asked, how long? And Alex crumbled. They tried to spin it at first, saying it wasn't what it looked like, that it just happened, that they didn't want to hurt me. But every excuse they threw at me unraveled the moment I repeated that one question over and over. How long? Eventually, Alex broke down and admitted it. All of it. The 9 months. The hotel rooms. The plans. The lies. They tried to say they still loved me, that they were confused, that they didn't want to lose me. But how do you confuse 9 months of cheating? How do you accidentally build a future with someone else? I packed a bag slowly, methodically, while Alex begged me to talk, to listen, to give them a chance. They reached for me, cried, tried to block the door. But I felt nothing. No anger, no grief, just emptiness, like my emotions had shut off to protect me from collapsing. I left the apartment. I didn't slam the door. I didn't even look back. I walked out of the life we built together and never returned. The aftermath was messy. Alex called constantly, apologizing, pleading, threatening to fix everything. Their family reached out. Our mutual friends wanted explanations. Some even tried to guilt me for not hearing Alex out properly. But I didn't care anymore. Something in me had snapped, permanently. I wasn't going to fight for someone who didn't fight for me. I wasn't going to beg someone to choose me when they already had someone else warming their bed. It's been months now. I've moved into a small apartment and started rebuilding my life piece by piece. Healing is slow. Some days I feel okay. Other days the memories hit me so suddenly I can barely breathe. But I'm getting better. And I know one thing for sure. Checking that phone didn't ruin my relationship. It revealed the truth that was already rotting beneath the surface. And now I need you to tell me, was I wrong? Should I have handled it differently? Or was walking away the only sane choice after discovering a betrayal that deep? If you were on my side, like this video and let me know. Make sure you subscribe for more stories like this and share your final thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening to my story. I'll see you all in the next one.